that a technological intervention could save the Arctic ice from melting, but what many of the models shows is that putting sulfur into the stratosphere could well interfere with the monsoons in India and Africa. And once again, far too little attention is being paid to the billions of people who live in those monsoon-fed parts of the world and could well pay the price for these high-risk technologies with their lives. In some cases, the effects of the astronauts' eye view prove particularly extreme. Their minds hovering out in orbit, there are those who begin to imagine leaving the planet for good, bidding farewell to the whole mess. Indeed, as I researched the geoengineering clique, I noticed that a great many of them harbored an unsettling fascination with building space colonies. Here's Branson again. In my lifetime, I am determined to be part of starting a population on Mars. I think it is absolutely realistic. It will happen. He even wants to go himself, if my wife will let me. And he points out, after all, something dreadful might happen to the Earth, and it would be very sad to see years of evolution going to waste. Now, indeed, this is pretty rich coming from a man whose airlines have a carbon footprint the size of Honduras, and who is putting his hopes for planetary salvation on a carbon-sucking machine that has yet to be invented, instead of just embracing existing zero-carbon technologies today. But for a great deal of our elites, it's actually easier to imagine dimming the sun on a planetary scale than rolling out a renewable energy program that would put solar panels on people's roofs. Uneconomic, says Bill Gates. The danger is not so much that these radical visions will be realized. Geoengineering the Earth is a long shot, never mind terraforming Mars. The problem is that these various technological escape fantasies are already doing real harm in the here and now. As Kenneth Brower has written, quote, "The notion that science will save us is the chimera that allows the present generation to consume all the resources it wants, as if no generations will follow. It is the sedative that allows civilization to march so steadfastly towards environmental catastrophe